Am I visible? Am I
Yeah, yeah.
audible?
Yeah, you're visible and you're audible and everything is perfect and fine, sir.
Okay, thank you, Solution. So let me see. There are only three participants right now. I don't know how many are watching me, and this is only me, you, nobody else.
They will join shortly, sir.
So what's the point? I think I'll wait for people to join in, then I'll start. It'll make more sense because
No, sir. No, sir. Actually, in this, they'll join only in the YouTube live, not in this one.
they'll join. Okay, they'll join there. Okay, so that means like, how will I connect with them? Chalo, let's start. Okay, chalo. So, since you say
Sir,
that they're
we'll
all
send you
live.
the link of the YouTube live so that you can just open with the YouTube live and you can see how many viewers are viewing, and if they are asking some question, you can directly view all those things. But here in this
Okay,
webinar, no one will connect in this one, sir. Everything will connect through YouTube live channel, sir.
okay. So what I'll do is like I'll share my mobile WhatsApp number with them, and let's see. I think they can connect
Sure,
me
sir.
with
We'll share you the
on WhatsApp.
channel live stream. Link, sir.
So, I'll not be able to log into YouTube right now. So what I'll do is like I'll share my mobile number with them, and they can text me on my WhatsApp so that I can take it forward that way.
Sure, sir.
Will
Sure,
it
sir.
work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are live. Done.
Yeah, yes,
So
sir. We are live. We are live now. We can start now, sir.
okay, thanks, Aloshna. Hi guys, good afternoon. And I don't know how many of you are watching me. And in case you're watching me, and if you're watching me live, I'll share my mobile number with all of you. I'll share my WhatsApp number with all of you so that you can text me and just that will be reassuring for me also that you guys are there. Somebody's listening to me, somebody's watching me. And my mobile number is 98101 23649. I repeat my WhatsApp number. This is 98101 23649. That's my WhatsApp number. I repeat again because I may have rattled off a little fast. So my mobile number is 98101 23649. So that's my mobile number. And please, if you have logged in and if you can see and hear me, just ping me on my WhatsApp so that I know you guys are there. And if you have any queries also, feel free to get in touch on my WhatsApp number. And so that I'll know what queries you have. And since it's a very short session, and it's just a 1 hour long session, so probably today I plan to talk about the theme connected to the three important words here: ethics, integrity, and aptitude. And I would like to have a head count also in terms of how many of you are going to take mains, or how many actually are preparing for mains, and what exactly is preparation status also. That will help me to figure out, what exactly is happening with all of you. And wait, I think I can. Okay. So I have, okay, Gopi, hi, good afternoon. Gopi, I have seen that. Gopi, good afternoon. Gopi, you can see, I just see you, okay? And there are some of you there. Gopi, hi. One second. What's happening? Okay. Okay, now, right, so I don't know. Suppose if the network somehow gives in, so I'll relog in again. So this is for Soloshna, who is monitoring everything there. So in case if I drop out, I'll read paper 4. Today I plan to talk about the themes of paper 4. What exactly is the theme, and the syllabus, how to go about it, what books to read, and this is something which is going to help you a lot. So I'll start with that. Now, before we get into the syllabus itself, when you start preparing for this paper, when you start preparing for civil service exams, for prelims as well as for mains, the first question you all should ask yourself is like, why this paper? Why am I studying this paper? That should be the first question you should ask yourself. For example, the first question you should ask yourself is like, why am I studying ethics? Is there any reason to study this? Interestingly, when you take your mains or when you take your prelims, polity makes sense. Why? Because it's a public service exam. Understanding polity is really important. History makes sense because history of the country, you should know what it is. Geography makes sense. It's an all India service, so geography makes sense. Culture makes sense. Economy, yes, of course. Economy makes sense. When you study bilateral relations, that also makes a lot of sense for the simple reason there's something called Indian Foreign Service. So you'll be future diplomats. So all that makes sense. The big question is, why are you studying ethics? What's the purpose of studying? I mean, what's the purpose of this paper? Why ethics and why this is being introduced? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this question? I have a feeling most of you haven't thought about this. Why am I studying this? The civil service exam is it's a very old exam. Certainly in 2013, we are introduced, they introduced something called, the UPSC introduced something called ethics, integrity, and aptitude. So why suddenly? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Just think about it. If you can find an answer to this question, your preparation is going to be very easy. The problem is most of us study blindly without understanding the purpose. Why am I doing it? I know, fine. Because there's I completely understand. It's an exam, you're doing it, it makes sense. But the point is why? Why? All of your graduates, I'll just explain it. All of your graduates here, okay, Ashok Shekhar, hi. Ashok Shekhar, hi, teacher. Okay, nice. That sounds very good. And Gopinandan says hi. And I haven't been called teacher in some time, so this is quite interesting. Somebody calls me teacher. Okay, nice, great. Ashok, nice to hear that. Now, all of you are graduate, all of you must be having wonderful CGPA. Some of you may have 8-point CGPA, some of you may have 9-point CGPA. You're very successful people in life. You're all successful graduates. Absolutely wonderfully successful graduates. 9-point, 10-point, who knows, some of you may be working in corporate, having a wonderful CTC, very successful people. But my bigger question is, are you a good person? Are you a good person? These are two different words. Success, yes. I have a car, I have a big house, I am a successful person, fine. But the point is, are you a good person? Can I trust you? Can I trust you? Bigger question. So this paper is about this question called goodness. Your parents have tried their best. In fact, they have tried their best and they're still trying to have a good son. So there's a huge difference. In India, people tend to chase success. We don't chase goodness. When was the last time you took your character seriously? When was the last time? I don't think so. I don't think you ever thought about the word called character. Suppose if I ask you this question, what is good about you? What is good about you? You will take a couple of seconds to think about it. What is good about me? A lot of you, when you go for job interviews, they have this question called strength and weakness. Strength and weakness. We always talk about it. We always talk about strength and weakness. And you prepare that also. You prepare that question. Some of you will ask you, I just have to ask you, what are your strengths? You'll say communication skill, engineering, decision-making skill. You will list out all the strengths. The moment I ask you what is good about you, you will take some time to think and answer that question. Why? Because you never thought about this. Interestingly, all of you have character certificates. But when I ask you about your character, you'll seriously think about it. So this paper is about your goodness. This paper is about a simple question, can I trust you? This paper is about Tagore's quote. Rabindranath Tagore wonderfully said this, education without good character is body without its head. You all have gone through the system of education, 12th and graduation. But the point is what about your character? Goodness. So that's what this paper is all about. So this paper is a very personal paper. It's about you. So don't look for guidance in textbooks or guides. That's not going to help you because this paper is about you. This paper is about your aptitude. Aptitude means are you coachable? Aptitude in terms of are you good enough to become a civil servant? So it's about you. So Today I'll talk about this only. And it'll be interesting to talk about it. And usually I'm used to talking to people. Usually I'm used to having a chat running in front of me. But it's a little surprising that not too many people have logged in, and I don't see too many people. I just see Sun, good afternoon. I just have Mohu, Ravi Shankar. Okay, that's it. I don't see too many. So it's okay. Probably you guys will see the recording or something later. It doesn't matter. Now, slowly, if you notice something, the world post-COVID, certain things have become very important. The world is slowly shifting from functional skills. If you look at the functional skills, the general knowledge or reading, writing, all that is functional skills. Now, slowly the world has shifted from functional to behavioral. Now we are shifting to a bigger thing, character qualities. This paper is about this character qualities. This paper is about this character qualities. We want officers of character. We seriously want officers of character. I don't want a genius. I want a character. I want a person whom I can trust. I want a person who's sensitive. I want a person who can empathize with people. Character. Are you humble? Are you compassionate? This is what this paper is all about. And these are character qualities we never think about and we never take it seriously also. So that's why this paper is about you. This paper is about, very simple, it's about you. It's about your sense of right and wrong. You know, throughout your life, last 17 to, throughout your last 20 or 22 years of your life, you have only accumulated a sense of right or wrong. That's it. You know, some of you will believe that dowry is perfectly fine. Why? Because you think it's right. Oh, some of you may believe the arranged marriages are perfectly acceptable. Some of you may believe that love marriages are perfectly acceptable. We have our own sense of right and wrong. So this paper is about your sense of right and wrong. This paper is about what you value. What you value. So this is what this paper is all about. It's about your sense of right and wrong. It's about your emotions. Your emotions. I want an officer who's sensitive, who understands people's emotions, who understands his own emotions. Oh, by the way, have you ever seen your behavior under impact of emotions? For example, how do you behave when you're happy? How do you behave when you're angry? Have you ever thought about these questions? It's about your emotions. It's about your mindset. Are you a progressive person? Are you a conservative person? What exactly is your mindset? So this is about your attitude. It's about your personality. And lastly, most importantly, this is my favorite word here, character. Sorry, I have a little sore throat, so please bear with me. I may cough in between. And it's about your character. So that's what this paper is all about. It's about you. So my advice number one is don't look for guidance in textbooks. Textbooks can give you fundamentals, but you have to learn to apply that. You have to learn to apply that in your personal life. So that is what we'll talk about. Okay, this is how I'm structured it. I'll discuss the themes. I'll discuss the interconnection between the theme, how the themes are connected to each other, one. And lastly, I'll also talk about the textbooks that you can follow or the basic readings. The basic readings. I'll give you a list of basic readings also. Not guides, basic books that you can either look for it or you can buy it, and basic books that you should read. So that is what I'll be doing in the session. And let's start with it, the syllabus first. I'm sure a lot of you must have seen the syllabus. I don't know how many of you have actually read the syllabus or actually have gone through the syllabus. One second, let me set up it. Okay. I have one WhatsApp message. That's it. 1 second, guys. Chalo. I think I can see the YouTube link. So probably if you really want to text me or have a question, you can say it on the YouTube chat itself, because I opened it on my mobile phone, so I can see you there rather than on my WhatsApp. I'll see you here. Okay, let's get going with the syllabus part. Now, when I say syllabus, all of you must have seen the syllabus. All of you must have read the syllabus. But from exam perspective, you need to understand the theme. You need to understand the cross connections between the syllabus, how the syllabus connects with each other, how basically are they interlinked. And if you can understand the interlinks, it will be very easy for you to prepare and study for this paper. Now, when I say interlink, let's divide the syllabus first. Some of you, if you're taking your mains, if you want to make a quick revision of it, this is the way to do it. And some of you are preparing for next year, you can start like this. This should be a preparation method. That's how you start. Now, just like in college, I'm sure a lot of you, I'm sure in college exams, none of you studied the syllabus from A to Z, right? From first topic to last topic. You studied it very selectively. You understood the exam. You understood what kind of questions are asked. Then you broke down the syllabus. Then you took a very practical approach to the syllabus. Here also we'll do the same thing. When you prepare for this paper, understand that questions are not going to come from every single theme or topic that is listed in the syllabus. You need to understand that there are some areas which are the core areas where, these are the areas where UPSC will focus on every year, come what may, because this is the core of the paper, core of the syllabus. The other is the peripheral areas. Peripheral means you may have a question, you may not have a question. That's a peripheral area. So let's see. The first one is the core themes. Core, main. This is where you'll have maximum number of questions, the core areas. The second one is the peripheral themes. Peripheral means you may have a question, you may not have a question. So it's wise, trust me, it's wise to focus on the core themes first. Then you slowly progress to the peripheral areas. And core themes are all interconnected. I repeat, core themes are all interconnected. And I'm going to break down the core themes, and I will not go as the syllabus listed in your notifications. I'll go thematically. And if you're watching me, please, you can go through the same sequence you're preparing for this exam. It will make your life easy. It will make your revision also very easy. And when I say core themes, the first core theme that is of importance to all of us is ethics. Now, interestingly, this is a section. If you look at the whole paper, to the 250 marks paper, it's organized into two parts: Section A and Section B. Section A is all theory. Section B is all case studies. And Section B is actually application. The case studies are nothing but application of what you studied in Section A. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, if you control Section A, if you understand Section A, your Section B becomes easy also. Your case studies also become easy. So that's why this is a core part. That is the A section, the theory part. So you cannot you cannot delink both. You have to study the theory part first, then you have to learn to apply it in your case situations. I'll discuss that also, how to do that also. Probably if time permits today, or if not, probably in some other session. But that's how you do it. You prepare Section A, then learn to apply this in case studies. And if you see Section A topics, if you see the syllabus, in Section there are 10 topics. There are 10 topics in the syllabus. There are 10 topics. And all the 10 topics are not very important for case studies. Only some are important for case studies. And ethics is only one of the topics. It's the first topic. That's the first topic. And when I say ethics, it's very simple. It's not rocket science. I don't know why you guys make it so difficult for yourself. Probably because you connect it to philosophy. Fine. Ethics is derived from philosophy, one part of it. But it's not philosophy per se. It's not philosophy in itself. So don't get deeper into philosophy. Understand what exactly the demands of the exam. Keep it very practical. Make your life easy. You don't need to read philosophy books. Seriously, you don't need to read philosophy books. You just need to understand the ethical perspectives. Now, when I say ethics, if you notice something, the first thing that you need to understand is the essence of ethics. What do you mean by the word ethics? Not definition. What does the word ethics means? What does it mean? The word, how is it different from law? How is it different from religion? Oh, you had a question on that, ethics versus law. How is it different from religion? How is it different from etiquettes? Is there any connection between ethics and religion? What is the source of ethics? Where do you get your sense of right and wrong? Have you thought about this? Just after, I mean, if you're listening to me, after finishing listening to me, just, just in the evening when you're a little free, just think about it. Where did I get my sense of right and wrong? Where did I get it? How did I get it? How do I acquire that sense of right and wrong? So that is the first thing, essence. Now, after essence comes the second part, determinants. What determines, what makes an action right? Is it the results that make an action right? Is it the values that makes an action right? Is it the principles that makes an action right? What makes your actions right? We all defend our actions. I'll put it very simply. We all defend our actions. For example, we lie to save a friend and we defend that also. So how do you defend that? How can you say lying is good to save a friend's life? How do you defend that situation? That is what a determinant is all about. That is what a determinant is all about. And the next one is dimensions. Ethics has a big, after 1970 onwards, ethics started getting into professions, especially engineering, bioethics. So it started getting into that area. So that's when a new discipline started coming up called applied ethics. They started looking into that part, how to apply ethics in engineering, how to apply ethics in public administration. This is one of the themes. So when you study ethics, you should always also remember, how can I apply this in engineering? How can I apply this in medicine? How can I apply this in public administration? For example, a lot of you must be engineers. So how will you apply ethics in engineering? So in that way, I should ask a question to yourself. You should ask a question to yourself, like, safety comes first or profits of the company comes first? So that's how you apply ethics into professions. That is applied ethics. Now, in dimensions, we'll be covering all these areas. So again, I'm repeating, when you're preparing for this third part called dimensions of ethics, understand it's a very applied area. Look into applied areas. For example, one of the applied ethics questions, which is important for this year and the coming year, is like war. How can you justify war? Is it possible to justify war? One of the bigger questions in applied ethics is like ask you, do you think richer nations have responsibility to poor nations to help them? Do you think developed countries should help poor countries, morally speaking? You guys use a lot of social media. So there's something called social media ethics. Do you use social media responsibly? Do you use Twitter responsibly? Do you use Facebook responsibly? All that is part of dimension. That is applied ethics. So these are the three main areas in ethics that you need to understand. And it's a very, very simple area, because it's about what is right and what is wrong. And the most important part is this. Every year without fail, you will have at least 2 questions from this section. Every year without fail, minimum 2 questions. So that means 20 marks is from this section. So you prepare these 3 areas well. In these 3 also focus on the first 2, essence and determinants. If you can prepare these 2 well, you get your 20 marks questions every year without fail. Just look into previous year's papers. Because I would like to test you here. Because the paper itself is ethics, so I would like to test you here. I would like to see whether you understand the essence, whether you understand the applied side of ethics also. Like, for example, a couple of years back, you had this question called public service values or public service principles. That's nothing but application of this part into public services. So when you're preparing for this part, you also have to learn to apply this in your profession side. And of course, yes, personal. We all have something called personal moral standards. We all have something called personal ethical standards. So what are your personal moral rules? Just give it a thought. What are the rules you live by? What are the rules you live by? That is also part of essence. Do you have any personal moral rules? I'm sure you have. But what are those? What are those? That is what is part of essence. And from this section, please remember, you'll have at least 3 case studies. You'll have at least 3 case studies where you have to use ethical approaches, where you have to use ethical principles, where you have to use ethical values. So overall, if you prepare this part, you'll be controlling at least 50 marks of 250. Sounds good? You'll be controlling at least 50 marks from the 250 marks paper. Sounds good for you guys? So when you prepare, keep this in mind. This is the core area, first core area, because it's case studies plus direct questions. 50 marks, complete 50 marks is in your hands. Now that's the first part of it. That's the first part of the syllabus. Now this is the first theme, not part. This is the first theme of the syllabus. Let's go to the next theme. Next theme is values. And if you see the heading, I have put in 3 sets of values. This is where the theme gets a little interesting. Now, what UPSC has done is, in syllabus, they have identified 3 sets of values. First is human values. Now, when I say human values, first is human values. Second is foundational values. Third is public service values. And all the 3 are listed in different parts of the syllabus, not in one go. This is a small trick they have played. It's a wonderful trick, actually. They have listed all the 3 values in different parts of the syllabus, different sections of the syllabus. The first and the most important, this is there in the first topic itself, human values. Acha, when I say human values, I have a question to all of you. Since all of you are listening to me, are you guys humans? First of all, simple question, but a very fundamental question. Are you all humans? I can see some of you are looking at your own self. Oh, yes. Am I a human being? You know, if you're watching me, and I know later you will watch me also, the recording of it. When you watch me, okay, Vigneshwaran says good afternoon, and Vigneshwaran, good afternoon. You're joining me late. It's okay, Vigneshwaran. Thank you for joining me at least, because people normally, I'm not sure whether it's a holiday in Tamil Nadu or not, but in Delhi it's a holiday. It's Gurupur, it's Guru Nanak Jayanti. Probably I'll talk about Guru Nanak Jayanti also a little later. Okay. Now, whenever I ask this question, are you humans? People take a while to think, because you have never seen yourself as a human being. For example, when you see me right now, I mean, it's more than half an hour since you've been seeing me. When you see me, you don't see the human. You see, okay, that's a teacher. That's a man. He lives in Delhi. Boss, I am a human being. Why is it we never see the human being? Why is it we always see the other person from an identity perspective? When I see a beggar, I see the beggar. I don't see the human being. When I see, for example, the same situation in World War II, a German saw the Jew as a Jew, never as a human being. Why is it when you see a Dalit, you just see the Dalit, you don't see the human being? Bottom line is, we are all humans. Why is it we never see the human being? So that's why UPSC wants you to understand human values. Why? Because public service is all about changing human lives. You know, you're going to be dealing with human lives. You know, when you work in Microsoft and Amazon, you're not dealing with human lives, you're dealing with products. But here you're going to deal with life. A police officer deals with a human life. Yes, public service is all about human lives. And that's why the first thing, human values. When I say human values, as a human being, I'm sure we all are very kind people. We're all very nice people. As a human being. As a human being, I'm sure we all are compassionate. And it's not about being, it's displaying that kindness. And this is again a very, very key area for your case studies also, because you'll have one case study dealing with human values. Trust me, we will have it. Trust me, we will. Because I want a human understanding other human being. You know, post-COVID, this has become very, very important because we are dealing with human life. Oh, a doctor deals with human life. Every single patient is a life. So human values, that's the first set of values that we need to understand. First and the most important set of value. And please take a look at yourself sometime later in the evening and just see what kind of a human being are you? What are the basic human values that you have? What are the basic human values? What are the basic human values that you practice? That is what Acha, are you forgiving as a person? One more great human value. You know, the greatness of Nelson Mandela was this only, forgiveness. Greatness of Mahatma Gandhi was this only, forgiveness. And he beautifully said, the weak can never forgive. A weak human being will never forgive. Forgiveness is a trait of a very strong human being. This question was asked in your exam, forgiveness. It's only one life we have, so why can't you be forgiving? Basic human values. Next, foundational values. What values have you learned from your parents? What values have you learned from your school? You know, the family is the first source of values. So what values have you learned from your family? What did your parents teach you? I'm sure your parents must have given you some values. Oh, this topic is mentioned in your syllabus. Values learned from your families. So what do you learn from your family? Okay, Murugan, good afternoon. Murugan is logged in and Murugan says, emotions. Family taught you emotions, right? What else? Great. Okay. What did you learn from your family? Have you learned anything from your family? What values have you learned from your family? You know, the first thing your family teaches you is respect. Your family teaches you to greet elders. You know, in North India, we have this practice of we touch the feet of elders. That's the first thing your family teaches you. Respect. For example, some of you did respect me. Yeah? Some of you said hi. Okay, only one person said good afternoon. Others, you said hi. I mean, greeting. In fact, one of you didn't even bother to greet me. Straight away dived into the answer. You know, when I started this session, I greeted all of you. Hello, good afternoon, welcome, vanakkam. I should say madhya vanakkam or kale vanakkam. I don't know. I'm not very fluent in Tamil, but respect. That's a basic thing your family teaches you. Okay, what are the values you learned from your school? I'm sure you must have learned a lot of values in school. What values did you learn in school? Very important one. You know, it's something, your value foundations are laid basically in school and in family. So what are the values you learned in school? Big question. I'll just give you a sample of it. You know, I went to school in Bombay. I studied in Mumbai and I went to school in Mumbai. I remember my class teacher in school had this horrible tendency, or rather interesting tendency, to change seating arrangement every week. Every week I used to have a new partner with me in my bench. And you know what? Now when I look back, I realized whenever I had this new partner, okay, basic societal values from family and schools. Okay, what else? Dhanush, Ilango says obedience. That's it. Obedience, Dhanush. Dhanusha, Ilango. Okay, Ilango says it's obedience. What else? Okay, anyway, let's continue. Now, every week I used to have a new partner. You know, whenever we had this new partner, I never bothered to ask this new partner what caste he belonged to. I don't bother to ask him, like, what is his father's status? We became friends. In fact, in schools, we used to exchange tiffins. Oh, what have you got from home? We never used to ask you, what is your caste? Then I'll touch your tiffin box. We never do that. Kids never do that. Kids play in the playground. They all play together. The first thing I learned in school was tolerance, acceptance. We never spoke in terms of skin color, or we never spoke in terms of religion. We never spoke in terms of caste. We only accepted everybody. So what do you learn in school? Oh, by the way, school teaches you to value time. Seriously. Oh, don't take it personally. This is for all of you. You know, in school, everything is time bound. Only for one simple reason, they want to teach you something called punctuality. And why punctuality? Because punctuality is all about valuing time. And when I say value, that means, do you think time is important? If time is important, respect it. This session was supposed to start at 2 o'clock. I was here at 2 o'clock. A lot of you logged in at 2:30. Where is the sense of time? Where is the sense of punctuality? 12 years in school, everything went by period. Break time, everything was time oriented because we wanted to learn one big value called learn to value time. Because humans are temporal beings. We live in a certain time frame. Basic foundational values that you pick up from school. Basic. So that's a next set of value. That's a next set of value. It's seriously sad. I mean, when I see young people coming in late, it's okay because I've been teaching in campus for a long time. So I know young people come in late, but somehow you have missed the most important aspect of life. That is time. That's a big foundational value. Okay. Third one is about public service values. When I say public service values, it's about values relevant for public service. When I say values relevant for public service, are you an honest person? In schools of us have seen honesty is the best policy. We see that very often. Honesty is the best policy. But the point is, do you practice honesty? That is what public service value is all about. Integrity, honesty. Biggest public service value, being incorruptible. Being incorruptible. Power corrupts, as Lord Acton said beautifully, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So are you incorruptible? Can somebody corrupt you? That's what his integrity is all about. Integrity is staying incorruptible. I'll define it a little differently. Can somebody corrupt you? Will power corrupt you? Yes. Okay. I have couple of responses. Now finally people are warming up. So much of punctuality, guys. Manu, Karthik, good afternoon. And I can see some of you are slowly logging in. And I don't know whether you guys knew about it or knew about the session or not, but nevertheless, this is Indian Standard Time, I guess Indian Stretchable Time. Transparency, yes, all these are public service values. So what I'm trying to tell you here is this is your big area. Why? Because look at the amount of questions you've been having. You had 14 long questions. This is much more important than your ethics. And sadly, I don't know who, from where you get these ideas. Somebody, Vagini, you retracted a message. Did you send an abusive message by any chance? Dhanush also retracted a message. Probably you guys are abusing me. Okay. Not bad. Teachers are meant to be abused, right? Chalo, jokes apart. Kids are always like that. Responsible to the happenings. Okay, it doesn't matter. Now, I don't know how you prepare, but when you guys prepare, you focus so much on ethics and the philosophy side of ethics that you forget that this is the biggest core area. Why this is the biggest core area is because you have 14 long questions. Maximum questions come from this section. And besides that, two case studies. So this is something which is going to be the core because this is your 60 marks of a paper. One case study and at least 40 marks, two case studies and at least 40 marks of questions. So this is at least 60 marks of a paper is here. So if you can combine, if you combine ethics and these three sets of values, you have your 100 marks of paper completely in your hand. Out of 250 marks, 100 marks is in your hands. And believe you me, this is going to take a lot of time to prepare because understanding values and applying them will take time. Seriously will take time because values are not about knowing it. Values are also about practicing it. So that's why this will be the challenge for you guys, not ethics. Seriously speaking, trust me, understanding ethics is much more easy. Studying ethics is the easier part. This is the toughest part. Why? Because three different sets of values, learning to apply them in personal life and applying them in public service system, plus the case studies. So that is why this is a bigger, tougher core area for you. So that is the second core area. So this is your 100 marks in a way, if you combine both. And the next one, one of my favorite pictures. I'm sure you can see the screen. Do you guys think? I'm sure you guys think. Do you guys think? Some of the thinking right now. Yeah, do I think or do I not think? I'm sure you all think. Now, this is your every year. This has no relevance for case studies. No relevance for case studies. It's purely in section A, and every year you have 20 marks questions minimum. 20 marks. And look at the words. This is my favorite one. Moral thinkers and philosophers. Moral thinkers and philosophers. It's not only philosophers. It's moral thinkers and philosophers. Oh, I have a question. Mahatma Gandhi, philosopher, moral thinker. What do you say, guys? Mahatma Gandhi. Some of them are thinking. Mahatma Gandhi, philosopher or moral thinker? Okay, no answer. Fine, it doesn't matter. Now, Mahatma Gandhi is a moral thinker, just like Buddha, just like Guru Nanak Dev. Oh, today is Guru Nanak Jayanti, 551 years. Very important for this year's exam. Buddha, moral thinker. Mahavir, a moral thinker. Tiruvalluvar. You know why? These are the two moral thinkers UPSC has asked. And UPSC has focused a lot on Gandhi. Almost every year there's a question on Gandhi. Coming year, who knows, they may shift from Gandhi to Buddha. Buddha is someone whom you study in your history. So that's why this is a section that you can cover a lot in your history itself. When you do ancient India, when you study Buddha, when you study Buddhism, understand Buddha's ethical principles. Okay, now I'm getting replies. I think is there a lag in, I don't know whether are you guys experiencing a lag or something, because when I see on the screen, I can see a kind of a small lag. Okay, both, sir. Okay, there is somebody who will say both. Okay. Bhuvna says he's a moral thinker. Okay. You know, the problem in India is like when you study political science in India, there's a whole paper called Gandhian philosophy. In fact, Gandhi was not a philosopher in strictest of the terms. He was more of a moral thinker. In fact, he himself says that. So here we'll use him as a moral thinker. Now, next. Now, these are the philosophers UPSC has focused on. These are the philosophers. And if you notice something, it's very Greek-oriented, very Western, extremely Western. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. The whole chunk of key Western philosophers have been discussed, done. In India, Kautilya has been asked. Rawls have been asked. Weber, a sociologist, one of those aberrations, he was there. But going forward, what philosophers you need to study? Now, I have a tip for all of you. Focus more on Western philosophers. Those philosophers who have contributed to ethics. Not philosophy, contribute to ethics. Like, for example, there's a very easy way to prepare this section. Okay, Yoganan is writing now. Yoganan, I just got your message now. So that means there is a kind of a lag somewhere, because I asked this question almost 5 minutes back and people are responding now. I don't know where the lag is. But nevertheless, I'm happy with the responses. Okay, now when you study for this paper, you can cover thinkers when you're doing the ethics section. For example, in ethics, when you study ethics, there's an approach called virtue approach. When you study virtue approach, you can cover Aristotle beautifully there, because Aristotle was the one who gave a proper shape to virtue ethics. So when you study virtue ethics, you can study Aristotle there. So you cover thinker there. You cover the philosopher there. So when you study duty approach to ethics, you can study Kant there, Immanuel Kant there. Oh, one more advice. When you study these approaches, textbooks will call this deontology or teleology. Don't use these words in the exam. We don't need that. We just want to see whether you can apply the approach or not. There are no marks for writing these jargon words. Remember that. There are no marks for these words. Marks are for you making sense. Yes. Okay, sir, kindly tell the difference between moral thinker and philosopher. We'll come to that. Bhagini, we'll come to that. Probably the next session, I may do an entire thing on moral thinkers and philosophers, because that's a request I've had earlier also. So, Bhagini, today let me run down the syllabus, and because already it's 2:50, so I have almost 20 minutes left. So let me run down the syllabus, Bhagini. Then I talk about that also. Probably next session I'll talk about it. Okay, so that's about the philosophers. Okay, going forward. I want you to focus on philosophers when you're preparing for next year's exam. Focus on philosophers like Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau. Why? Because these are the people who made the word liberty popular. These are the people who made the word secularism popular. These are the people who made the word equality popular. Rousseau is all about equality. If you look at French Revolution, the slogan was liberty, equality, fraternity. So that's why going forward, it's very, very important to understand this section of philosophers. That is Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, it's important. Because they have asked the Greek set of philosophy, that is Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. So remember that. Oh, going one more thing, I'll just give you a small tip also here. Whenever you prepare for ethics paper, whenever you study this paper, generally there's a tendency to focus on big three. When I say big three, that means people tend to focus more on virtue ethics or Immanuel Kant or on James or Mill or Bentham. They focus on this. Why not? Why not? Mark is not alive. Mano Karthik, what is that? Mark is not alive. What does that statement mean? Mano, is there a subtle message to one of your friend or some other friend who's chatting here? Okay, Vignesh, doctor, welcome. Doctor, so much for your punctuality. Big three, okay, the big three is this. Doctor, this especially for Vignesh. Vignesh is logged in now. Vignesh, that's what I'm explaining. The big three, normally every textbook talks about the big three. The big three are the virtue ethics, the duty approach to ethics, Immanuel Kant, and lastly, the utilitarianism, consequentialism. This is known as the big three. But post-COVID, I'll give you a new approach. Probably this year it may be important, next year also it will be important. There's something called ethics of care. Ethics is not always about character. Ethics is not always about duty. Ethics is also about relationships. This is what we call ethics of care. Your parents cared for you. As a public servant, you need to care for people. Caring. That's the next approach. And post-COVID, this is going to be the most important approach in public service also, ethics of care. I'll just share an example of this. The moment the lockdown started, the first thing that happened was police authorities were given the responsibility to implement the lockdown. Delhi police immediately started a campaign called Delhi Dil Ki Police. That is Delhi police, a police with a heart. They emphasized on the word heart. If you see the logo, they made a big heart. They were trying to convey a message. That they care. I repeat, that they care. So remember that. Doctor, leave out these questions, how to integrate secular, Western Indian secular, leave out all that, doctor, because that is not the scope of today's lecture. Today, I'm just focusing more on the syllabus and the thematic appreciation of it. Doctor, probably the next time when I'm talking about it, we can take it up. Today, let me finish with the syllabus part, doctor. Okay, Narmada, most welcome. Narmada has already said thank you to me. So that means, should I close? Okay, it doesn't matter. So, this is what I wanted to focus on. Okay, there's one more trick here. What UPSC has done in the last couple of years is they have asked these people. And none of them, Napoleon, Lincoln, APJ Abdul Kalam Sahab, Warren Buffett, none of them are philosophers, neither moral thinkers. Why are they there? This is a surprise package for you. Why are they there? They are there only for a simple reason. In your syllabus, in the first topic of the syllabus, they have used the word great leaders, values of great leaders. And these are some of the great leaders the world have seen. Now that begs one more question. What is Warren Buffett doing here? He's more of a business leader. He's more of a businessman. I'm sure all of you must be knowing about Warren Buffett. All these people are great leaders, not leaders. They're great leaders. And the reason why they are great is because of the vision. Not every leader is a great leader. I'm very sure if you ask an ordinary Russian, is Putin a great leader? He'll say no. And even today also ask ordinary Russian, Lenin a great leader? He'll say, yes, Lenin is a great leader. Fine, his system failed. They'll say he was a great leader because he had a vision. Mahatma Gandhi, a great leader. Why? Because he had some great vision. Oh, Nelson Mandela, one more great leader. Great leader means these are leaders with vision. Ashoka, a great leader. Why? Because he had the foresight to renounce war in the name of peace. Had Ashoka been alive today, he would have won the Nobel Peace Prize very easily. Okay, they are nearly 70 years old farmers who are participating. Where does this come in? What has this got to do with what I'm discussing here? for protests and great leads. Okay, so it's about the vision. It's about the vision. Actually, if you're setting, we must just please keep it to this context. Don't bring in something which is like political here. And let's not get into agitation mode here, because that is not scope of this paper. Neither you'll be using it anywhere in the exam also. So have questions that are relevant for you and for your preparation. Okay, so this is about the leaders with vision. For example, Akbar, one more great leader, Akbar the Great. Why? Because of his vision. And going forward, 21st century is all century of tech leaders. 21st century is all about tech leaders. Oh, Jeff Bezos, a great tech leader. 20 years back, we could not even imagine shopping using mobile phone. Today, Amazon has done that for you. Oh, Facebook changed the way we communicate. Mark Zuckerberg changed the way we communicate. So all that is tech leadership. So going forward, Jack Ma, Alibaba, one more great leader. So in future, you may have these. Oh, Elon Musk. I'm sure you must have heard about Elon Musk. When Prime Minister Modi went to US, he made a point to visit them. Okay. Now this is Delhi police. You know something? Police is a very, very, don't bring that here. I mean, I'm talking about COVID here, and farmers' agitation something else, and caring for normal citizens something else. And one of the exceptions doesn't generalize things. Okay. And besides, let's keep it very, very context driven, because I am short of time, boss. Hardly another 10 minutes left, 15 minutes left. So let me finish this. And I shared my mobile number with all of you. If you have questions, you can ping me also. You can WhatsApp me also. Dr. Chella Vignesh always does that. So you can always do. Okay. And the last one is this. Now, this is where the best part is. This is your 20 marks. And okay, one more tip here. This is not relevant. This section, when you prepare for this section, this will not be relevant for your case studies. It's completely only for section A. So my advice is, you focus on this in the end. First prepare ethics, then the 3 sets of values, then you come down to this section, And here also prepare in stages. First pick up the moral thinkers, finish them off, then you come down to Greek thinkers, then you come down to the modern thinkers. There's no need to study any medieval thinker. You just start with Greek, and there also in Greek also you focus on some of them, like Socrates, Plato. You can leave out Plato, Aristotle, focus on Socrates, focus on Epicurus, focus on some of the Greek thinkers. I'll give you a list later. From Greek, you come out to modern period. That will be important. That's how you go about it. And this is how we go. And the next one, now if you cover this is your 80% of section A and B, 80% of your course. If you cover these ethics, values, and thinkers, this covers almost 80% of your preparation. And smart people always do this. They will not do the syllabus cover to cover. Okay, I have a question, sir. Between some leaders, what having vision make them leader, or between some leaders, there's a different personal motive and public motive, like Gandhi. Then what is the relation between calling them as leaders? You know something, here we are looking at the vision part. We are not looking at their personal motive or public motive. You got a little wrong here. And besides, your question also is not framed well, that it's not clear also what you're trying to ask me. Okay, chalo, it doesn't matter, but it's not about personal motive or public motive. It's just the vision that is important. It's just the vision or the idea which they gave to the world. Okay. Chalo. Now, next one. Okay, right. Now, next one is the emotional part. This is a peripheral topic. Peripheral means you may have a question, you may not have a question. Okay, this is for Vetri. Vetri, we know Veeran. Nice name. Okay, this is for Vetri, for you, especially for you, this question. Vetri, are you a happy person? Vetri is thinking. Vetri, are you a happy person? He says, yes, sir. Oh, seriously, are you guys happy? What is your emotional outlook? Are you an optimistic person? See, even now Vetri hasn't answered my question. He's still thinking what kind of a person he is, happy or sad, or what kind of a person he is. You know, all of you have been looking at my face for almost more than, it's exactly an hour since you've been looking at my face. Now, when you see my face, I'm sure you're trying to understand what kind of a person I am. Do I look happy? Do I look sad? Oh, do I look tensed? Do I look tensed? Do I look anxiety? Do I look anxious? Oh, Sulochana is listening. Okay. Look at Vetri. Vetri writes, yes, sir. Boss, Vetri, the spelling of sir, is it a typos or it's a tension? Because of tension, you misspelled the word sir. Okay, Vetri, it's okay. I'm just fooling around with you. Now, we are very good. We are very good when it comes to understanding others' emotions. You see a person, okay, you understand. But how good are you understanding your own emotions? How good are you knowing your own emotions? Have you observed your behavior when you get angry? Have you observed your behavior when you're happy? Have you thought about this? That is what is emotion. We are always intelligent about others. How about being intelligent about your own emotions? Have you noticed something? When you get angry, your vocabulary improves automatically. You recall all the vocabularies that you used in your college days because that's what anger does to you. Oh, by the way, have you noticed something? When you're happy, you tend to overspend. You tend to be very extrovert. Have you ever understood your own emotions? So this is emotional intelligence for you. Something we always, this is something I want to talk to you all about. What is interesting is New Year is coming. And every single person of people of your age, you'll make resolutions. And one of the resolutions you all make is going to gym or, most of you will say like, I have to lose weight. You make all these resolutions. Fine, physical fitness is good. How about emotional fitness? Are you all emotionally stable? Are you all emotionally healthy? Big question. That's why I started with a small question to Petri, that are you a happy person? In India, normally we believe after I succeed, I'll be happy, but I'll inverse the formula. A happy person is more successful. Why is it we deny our emotions? So that is what emotional intelligence is all about. It's about that emotional health. It's about that emotional stability. COVID has brought this back to fore now. Because we need to be that emotionally healthy, stable person. So that is what this topic is all about. It's about your emotions. And very simple, it's about the relevance of emotions. What do you say? Are emotions relevant? Do you think it's important? What role it plays in your life? Does it play any role in your life? Does it play any role? Simple questions, but very basic questions. But these are the things that they'll ask you. Okay, Vetri, it's okay. Vetri, it's okay. Don't need to apologize. It's all okay. You're like my kid, so it's okay, Vetri. Okay. Now I have what role it plays? A simple question. All your decisions, somewhere down the line are driven by emotions. All your decisions. Fine, logic plays a role, but it's driven by emotions. For example, eating decisions. As small as, do you eat for satisfaction or nutrition? Trust me, we eat more for satisfaction, less for nutrition. Look at your shopping decisions. It's again emotionally driven. So emotion plays a big part in our life. Don't deny it, accept it, be intelligent about it. That is what the first topic is, concept of relevance of it. Next, the toughest part is this application governance. Today we talk about good governance. And one of the dimensions of good governance is sensitive governance. Only if you're emotionally intelligent, happy to be what I now, but the feeling is not consistent. Okay. Happy to be what I now. Now this sounds very, very confusing. Okay. Anyway, We talk about, in good governance, we talk about sensitive governance. Are you a sensitive person? Now, being sensitive is again an emotion. A lot of your doctors, there's Dr. Chalvengesh here. Doctors need to be emotionally sensitive, empathetic. So that is what this is all about. Okay, Kodishwaran says, sir, speak in Tamil, boss. I am not a Tamilian, boss. I cannot speak in Tamil. If I start speaking Tamil, I'll run away, seriously. Kodishwaran, is that a joke or you seriously want me to speak in Tamil? Okay, anyway, it's about applying EI in governance. And I wish I see you once more to take up the case study part. Also, as one of you have requested that I should talk about case studies. Today, I don't think I'll have time to talk about case studies. I'll just quickly run down the syllabus. Then probably next time when I see you, I'll talk about case studies. I actually didn't know how this is going to go because it's the first time I don't have it on my Google chat box. It's all on YouTube. So that's the reason I didn't know how it's going to go. But anyway, now I know how it's going to go. So next time probably I'll be better at your queries also. Okay, next one. You didn't have too many questions here. That is 4 long questions. So that's why this is a peripheral area, not exactly a core area. It's more of a peripheral areas. And now comes my favorite one. You guys use emojis. You guys use a lot of these emojis. And this emoji shows cool. Now, being cool is an attitude. Now, talking about attitude, I have a very important question for all of you. Think about it. People like you or people don't like you? What do you say? Your friends like you? Honestly, you don't have to answer me, but think for yourself. Do your friends like you or they don't like you? In other words, are you a pro-social person or are you an anti-social person? Suppose if your friends find you arrogant, that means you're anti-social, not pro-social. So we have 2 kinds of tendencies: pro-social, anti-social. Pro-social attitude, anti-social. And most important here is attitude is all about mindset. What exactly is your mindset? In India, we talk about patriarchy. Patriarchy is again a mindset. It's all attitudes. So first basic thing is like the concept and function of it. And again, it's a peripheral area. So don't spend too much time on this. You will not have a question also, case study. Oh, you may have a case study on this. So, but here, don't waste too much of time. Okay, talking about this part, don't spend too much time reading social psychology textbooks here. It's waste of time. I'm going to give you a very precise reading for this section today. Now, this is what is very important for you. Social influence and persuasion. Yep, Wagiri is the only one who says, yeah, they like me. Rest of them, nobody has answers, so that means nobody likes them. Adil, good afternoon. Adil, good to see you. Oh, yes, they do. Okay, one more person. Yes, they do. Okay, it doesn't matter. So next one is social influence persuasion. This is what is the main part here. Why the main part is because governance is all about changing lives, changing mindsets. And how do you change mindsets is by persuasion and by social influence. I'm sorry, I'm rushing a little faster because I have only 7 more minutes left. I'm watching clock also. I'm rushing it also because 3:15 I have to wind up. And I have 2 more areas to cover. People are, okay, fine. I know people like you. They like me, and exclamation also. That means they like you a lot because there's an exclamation at the end of the sentence. Okay. So governance is all about changing life. And the whole aspect of changing life revolves around one word called changing mindsets. Today we are trying to change people's mindsets about child marriage. Child marriage is abolished, but still continues because the mindset has not changed. Oh, Ram Mohan Roy was the first one to change mindsets about sati. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar also changed mindsets. Oh, in South, Periyar also tried to change mindsets. Persuasion. So persuasion is all about changing mindsets. So when you're studying attitude, you have to study attitude from that perspective, the perspective of changing mindsets. That is why this is not social psychology here. You have to apply this in persuasion. So that's why this will be a little challenging, but it'll be fun doing it. And that's why I give it you, changing mindsets here. Okay, so it's a peripheral area. You don't have too many questions from this part. It's a peripheral area. Now, this is the next area. Actually, there are 5 minutes left. So can I go to the reading part of it? Because I can explain things along with the reading part of it, if it's okay with you, all of you. because I don't think there's a possibility to extend my class, extend this talk, but I'll just go to the reading part of it because I've done the main areas, I've done the core areas. Now, these are some of the contemporary issues. Case studies, probably I'll take it up next time because we don't have. Okay, I want to spend some time here so that you read the right stuff. Okay, one of the biggest challenges that everybody has, or people have this question every time, is what books to read? What books to read? What books to read? And I cannot prescribe you guides because I don't know the guides precisely because I haven't read the guides. And besides, the person who's going to set the paper or UPSC will not rely on guides to set the paper. So when I say textbooks, now these are wonderful, easy books to read. Now, the first book which I have mentioned is Introduction to Ethics by Kevin Gibson. That's the most easiest textbook you'll ever find. Easiest textbook, Kevin Gibson. And it's the latest one. It's the latest one. And this will give you all the fundamentals of ethics. All the fundamentals of ethics. All the fundamentals. And it's beautifully explained in a very simple language for undergraduate students. It's not a classic book. It's just a basic book. Second one, which I mentioned, William Frankena, that's a classic book. And if you're very ambitious, you can go for William Frankena if you're very ambitious. But I would rather recommend that be little conservative here. Don't be very ambitious. Kevin Gibson will do a job. But the problem here is like Kevin Gibson will be little expensive. It costs around $4,000. So if you can buy it if you can request the library there, they can procure it. You guys can read from there. And there also you don't need to read the entire book. There are some chapters. If you can get access to it, I can help you with the chapters. That is one. So Kevin Gibson is something I'll recommend. And the name of the book is Introduction to Ethics. William Frankena also has the same title, Introduction to Ethics. But William Frankena is a classic book. You will find it tough to read it. Trust me, you'll be. Kevin Gibson is easy one. Now, before you jump into Kevin Gibson, I've given you a second link called Ethics. And that's the IGNU, E-Gyan Kosh. I hope you know post-COVID, E-Gyan Kosh has opened the entire database. So you can download this. This booklet only talks about ethics. It's written in very simple words, easily understandable words, and it's very authentic. It's wonderfully authentic, and it'll give you the basics of it. So read the E. Gyankosh one, Ethics, then you read Kevin Gibson. It'll make a lot of sense. This will take care of entire ethics, and it'll even, in fact, Kevin Gibson may help you also to apply that in case studies also. So this too will be helpful there. Next one is for Attitude. That's again E. Gyankosh handle, Attitude. I hope you know E. Gyankosh is Indira Gandhi Open University's database, E. Gyankosh. So that's again a handle for Attitude. You can study Attitude from that. That will be good enough. And for thinkers, Incarnations is a book by Sunil Khilnani, which will give you India in 50 lives. You don't need to read all the 50 people who are listed there. You'll have wonderful contemporary perspective of, say, Buddha, Ambedkar, Tagore, basics. You can be selective there about India in 50 lives. You can read selectively and good enough. Then the next one is like 100 Great Philosophers Who Changed the World. This is by Stokes. Sorry, I missed out the name of the person. Stokes, Stokes. And there also read the ethical philosophers only. Philosophers who contribute to ethics, not all the 100. Philosophers who contribute to ethics. And this book's PDF will be available. This is written by Stokes, Stokes, Stokes. So that book should be available. PDF is available easily. And for emotional intelligence part, I've given the book. There's no point reading Daniel Goleman. Read this, Weisinger. It's much more relevant. You'll understand it also. You'll be able to use it also in the exam. And last and final one. For the last two parts of your syllabus, that is public administration in governance part, probity part. For that, this is the best book, Ethics and Governance. It's written by Bidhu Chakravarti, Indian scholar. He is right now Vice Chancellor of Vishwabharati University. And this book came out last year, I think 2017, I guess. It's a wonderful book, Ethics and Governance. If you can read this much, you have the entire paper covered. So this is your basic reading. You don't need to go beyond this. This is your basic reading. This is good enough for you to manage this paper. I said basic. Beyond this, you can read whatever you feel like. But be careful about what you read on Google, because Google can be a trap. And be practical about it. It's just an exam. You're not doing a PhD research in this paper. So keep your scope limited. Don't go beyond the scope of this paper, because students have a tendency to go beyond the scope of this paper. Not needed. Just the scope of this paper. So not more than that. Okay. I still have 1 minute to go. I'll share my mobile number with all of you. You can find me on Telegram. In fact, in Telegram, I have a channel also. I post stuff there. In fact, there's lots of reading on Telegram. I have not posted in a couple of months, but if you scroll back earlier, there'll be lots of reading stuff there on Telegram. Anyway, my mobile number is 98101 23649. I repeat, 98101 23649. That's my WhatsApp number. That's my number. You can feel free to text me or ping me for any kind of help. If you're taking your mains, feel free to for any kind of help. And Adil, happy to see you, by the way. And Dr. Vignesh, thank you so much for ensuring that I should be on board with you guys. So I'm there. And I think it's exactly 3:15. So I managed my time well. Yes. Okay. So with this, we can stop. Okay. Yep. Sulochana, if you're there.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Yep.
Thank you so much, sir. We really had a great session, sir. It's not only a food for thought. Your speech is like refreshed our body, mind, and soul. What I can say is we felt so energetic. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys, for joining me, and thank you for having me also, Sulochana. And thanks to Principal Raman also from my side, and of course the DG. Thank them from my side. And I hope to see you sometime. I hope I'm able to arrange my schedule that I have one more talk with all of you. Right. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.